last night.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of stealth and waste. I have sought eternity at the bottom of a bag of bacon rinds. It hasn't worked yet, but perseverance will pay off, I know it. This is me. I am a cynical optimist or a cyclic pessimist or a patronizing cyclist or something. I say things more than I do them. This is the way I am, or have been, or used to be, or something. I repeat phrases sometimes too. And sometimes I rhyme. Like here, whenever I think I just might win the race, the blues up and comes all over my face. Just when I think I'm done paying my dues, what happens? I get reamed by the blues. I don't really know what these words mean yet, but I will. I know it. I'm lazy, but I'm all right with it. I was a loser, but I left it behind. I am something else and something else again. I am me, as you are he and you are she, and we are all together, and that's all right, and that's about it, by way of introduction. That's a poem I wrote. Though, yes, it was amazing. You're right. I know, thank you. But I should mention that it's a poem that I effectively stole from Daniel Saftler, in that he wrote something, and I made it better. So
big meanie.
So kudos to Daniel Saftler. I like at the anti-folk festival shows, of which I do far too many.
How many was this for you?
This is number 918. I really don't know. Because I was a late performer, I probably started like in 99 or aught.
Yeah.
So I missed a whole bunch, but those were lousy ones anyway.
Yeah.
Take my word. I know. Married couples, whatever. My point is, during these festivals, I try and do stuff that speaks to the anti-folk experience, and or to things that I directly were inspired or stolen by somebody on the scene. So that means that a lot of times there's a lot of repeat material in my anti-folk festival shows. So it's a good thing no one comes to my show twice.
All right.
Because it would be boring for them.
That's how it works out.
This is called The Show. The microphone screeched, the floors squeaked, the booker screamed, the audience small, the crowd didn't show. The people sat, short-tempered, sullen, silent, and through it all the sounds of my parents' embarrassed clapping stung. That's a poem I wrote. True story.
Show.
Yeah.
Oh boy, glad I missed that one.
So as I say, a lot of these speak to the anti-folk experience in one way or another. What is the anti-folk experience? That's a great question. A more important question is, if I remembered the name, why would I not? Okay. The more important question is what I'm going to do next, and that's this. I wish I had the chance to tell you how great you are, how wondrous your music, how eloquent your words. I want to sing your praises in person after you sing to crowds. I wish I could tell you just how amazing you sound. I want to compliment you so badly, but for me to be able to get there, you have to get closer to me, and much, much better. That's called so bad.
That's lovely.
I think that speaks to the
Happens all the time.
experience
All
quite
the time, yeah, because that.
quite well. This is the one that I should have started with.
Oh, shitting himself on stage.
This is one of the 5 I should have started with. I guess it is one of the 5 I should have started with. That is so good.
Great.
Yeah.
You made it in. Made the
Smart.
It is.
It's called To the Guy I Tripped on My Way to the Stage. Fuck you, you fucking retard. Why would you stand there knowing I was coming this way? Didn't it occur to you that someone important might be ready to come through here? Did you really think that this was the best place to leave your feet right where I might step on them? I almost stubbed a toe. You better watch where I'm going next time, or it could get ugly for both of us, but mostly you. That's a poem I wrote.
Tripping.
Hey?
Your words are tripping.
Yeah, that was Joe Vedder, who played last week, was there. I'm pointing to the wall.
Yes, you are.
Was around the wall.
Oh, he was
and
around
and he wasn't watching where I was going, which is unforgivable.
How rude.
I know.
Really?
Yeah. Obed was really good. Yeah. There's a connection in my head. This is a poem that I wrote. And then my roommate said, "Why don't you make it better?" My roommate is an anti-folk. It's called Sappy. The tree we planted at my boy's birth still grows upward, outward, increasing its influence and health, while my boy long ago stopped. His plateau was so far back, while this tree continues to climb. And the tree is lovely, and I'm glad we lay that seed, and I'm proud that something I had brought into the world had attained such heights, but I just wish it had been my son, and that he'd gotten bigger, stronger, always rising, never coming down, until well after I had been placed in pine. So that's the better version. I wasn't sure which one I was doing.
That was almost good.
Almost good?
That was
Next
almost
time.
good, yeah.
Fingers crossed, it's gonna be good.
I'd say you could do better, but you can't.
When I saw during Brooke Pridemore's show, whatever. During Brooke Pridemore's show, he said, damn it, why has no one written a song about me? And I shouted, I wrote a song about you. And when I saw him come into the room, I said, I'm going to find that piece and I'm going to do it, and I can't find it. But I have a piece that maybe you've heard, which is about no one is special, no one gets a free hat. Maybe it's not about you so much as around you.
Right.
Okay, so you're
Around
still a
and about.
virgin about being written about, maybe. Oh, except for that thing.
There still hasn't been a good piece written about.
Fair enough.
So there has been a
Oh my God.
I know. Tough crowd. What are you
This is
gonna
a
do?
bitter, bitter crowd.
Somebody has to do the right thing. Somebody has to work for justice. Somebody has got to stand up to the bullies, to fight the good fight, to beat back the night with the force of right combined with might. We can't all go hiding under our sister skirts when things get hectic. We can't all play in the flower garden. Sometimes somebody has to be the one to struggle, to strain against the machine, to fight City Hall with their back against the wall, giving it their all. There have to be champions. There have to be crusaders. There have to be heroes, and I would like to meet them. If you find anyone, I'll be in the flower garden. That's a poem. Yes, we're done with that. This is called The Magical Negro.
Nice.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. The magical Negro who saved my life and taught me valuable lessons of love, understanding, and race relations in the 50s South was a good man, a just man, a better man than any other I had ever met, and I will never forget him, nor, it seems, will I ever be able to remember his name. That was called The Magical Negro. I know. I'm really quite astonishing.
That is true.
So
many ways.
Just really one way. Girth is pretty much it. And in the summer, even that diminishes. I shrink before you. This is called prized possession. When I said it, it was true. The jacket, the faded denim jacket was my most prized possession. I had owned it for years, since winning it from Smooth Herc junior year. It was newish then, and required some work to get it where it needed to be. Since it has been worn and worried and sewn and stitched to just the right dimensions. I had made this jacket patched and perfect, my most prized possession, but now, yes, I am willing to give it to you, as somehow, this worn jacket, this faded denim thing, it doesn't seem quite so important to me as others. That was called prized possession. So, this is a poem whose title is inspired by one act, and the story within it is inspired by two other acts. 2/3 of which are here. Will you identify yourself? I don't know. Let's take a listen.
Nice.
This is called Joke Dick. On accidentally opening the bathroom door and seeing Richard Ringer on flagrante before closing the door and running far, far away. I am sorry. That was an accident. That was unintentional. That was not the door I was looking for. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to see you. I am sorry. Not that I saw anything, really. Not that there was anything to see. I couldn't see anything. Nothing was visible. It was too small. Not that it was small. Not that I could see. I'm sorry. Look, can we just forget about this? Can we not discuss these events, which I would rather pretend never occurred and pretend that they, in fact, never did occur? What events? What, I just saw you in the bathroom with your little joke dick out. Oh, you'd already begun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry! That's a poem I wrote. Thank you. Great, what do you think?
We'll do it now. Go on.
I'm going to do one more as you walk up here.
Okay.
So walk at whatever speed you think I'm going to read it. I don't know how that's going to
There you go.
Oh, this works really well. It's called stride. Walk with purpose even when there is none. Even when you've got no reason. If it just seems like you know what you're doing, seem like you know what you're doing. Act with authority. Perform with a vengeance. Do what must be done, and quickly, and if possible, efficiently. But that is less important than doing something. Walk with purpose. Walk with pride. But walk. That's a poem. And that's Grey Revell. Grey Revell is on later on tonight at 8:45.
Yes.
So, this is where it's going to do the good stuff. But if you want to stick around, you'll see something. Good, bad, you be the judge. You decide. I was about to say we worked on an album, but that gives me a lot more credit than I deserve. Grey Revell created an album for me to do stuff on top of, and then told me how to do it. So like he said, all you need to do is provide the words, and I said I can do that. And then when I provided the words and we started recording, he said you should do it like this, and he was right. And that album is Grey Revelations, which is not a title he insisted upon because it's got his name in it. And he said, please don't call it that. And I said, it's my fucking album, I'll do what I want. And I think that's the end of the story. We're going to do a couple things that are from Grey Revelations, which is available on Bandcamp and not in any physical capacity anywhere in the world. Though it should be. Any record labels? You know where we're starting? You told me.
Just want to make sure I'm not muted here.
I'm going to talk some more. Hi. You start this.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Erica got shot on a Monday. I didn't do it. I know I didn't do it. Erica got shot on a Monday. I hope I have an alibi. Erica got shot on a Monday. What was I doing? I can't remember any. Erica got shot on a Monday. What kind of monster am I?
Lately I've been having these spells and I can't really tell just what it is that's been happening. Everyone's looking at me funny like I did something wrong, but how could they know what's going on with me better than I know myself? I don't buy it, unless that's exactly what they want me to think. Oh geez, I never thought of that before.
Erica got shot on a Monday. I have no memory of anything that happened. Wasn't that only yesterday?
Oh shit.
I gotta figure out why.
I really like Erica. I mean, I don't know her that well, but does anyone really know anything about anyone? I mean, aren't we all just living inside our own heads, pretending to share a world when really we only just share air, but our thoughts are pristine. Our language is only imagined to be communal. When I say hello, does it translate to the same thing for everyone? When I say kill, what does it mean?
Can't account for hours from 11 to 1. Opportunity, but no motive. Can't even say how I ever got the gun. Erica got shot on a Monday.
Yeah. More singing from the big boy.
He was singing.
Grey Revell's been around for a while. He actually has not been around for a while, now I realize. He escaped the city. But he was a regular in the class of 98, 99. I know 99, I'm not sure about 98.
I showed up in '98.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was in the class with
Jeff
Lewis, who's also in the audience. Unless he left because, fuck you, Jeff. I can't say. Oh, there, you are leaving! Jesus Christ! Oh, okay.
Very,
Getting closer.
All right, and these are people that were part of the, I guess, the dual compilation period of Anti-Folk Volume 1 and Call It What You Like, This Is Anti-Folk. Unless it was going to Call It What You Want, This Is Anti-Folk. This is a history lesson. Why aren't you taking notes? Okay, we're going to do something else now. It's called the Avenue A Irregulars. Mental notes. Mental notes.
Here you
After 11 on a Wednesday, and the week of Will had abandoned their posts. I want to go home, Arnie said, and did. Fat Johnny was slumped in a corner, possibly pissing himself. We didn't check. Left were only the strong, the stately, the secure in their ability to withstand the hangovers we knew would come. It would be a rough morning, we predicted, but it was rare enough for the Avenue A irregulars to get together, less than 4 times a week, and we had to ensure that the evening was memorable, even if those memories might hurt our heads. Another round, Bart shouted, and it was so. We raised our glasses, enjoying the moment as our anthems echoed the halls.
All my plans are riding on the year 2000.
Sharon had just come back to town, and she was so happy to see us, and we were all secretly wondering who she'd crash with. It turned out that she had plans with Trisha, so none of us got any. But there was a moment around the witching hour when we were all certain we could get laid that night, all vying for the attentions of that single girl, the prize we were all positive we could attain. I will not be the loser, we thought, each one of us, not thinking that it couldn't possibly be true for us all, unless we went orgy style, and that wasn't how the Avenue A irregulars rolled back then. No, we had all our Schrodinger dreams of Sharon then, and we were all sure we'd succeed, though none of us did. And the CD player played our song, and all at once, we sang along.
All my plans are riding on the year 2000.
We were tigers, roaming our East Village cage, unaware of the boundaries of youth, of innocence, though we were too naive to know we were innocent, too dumb and drunk to realize our moments fly, and futures pass like a waitress rushing to the big spenders in the back. There goes her tip, Paul called quietly. She ignored him. Steve did too. He was humming his new song, inadvertently artistic in the dead of night. Sharon gone, we lost steam, so we all went our different directions to far-off homes that Thursday morning, before the regular folk would wake. Another memorable evening had by the Avenue A irregulars, we think, for we could never recall any of it. We were younger then, expectant, obnoxious, and oblivious to what was to come. We would learn. That's where it's from.
It was, yeah, kind of.
Don't argue with me, my show! It wasn't Midnight Eye?
It was an album. Well, it never made the
Really?
album cut. It was a bonus track on
Okay.
it. It never got on anything. It was on a couple of tracks. It was on a couple of written issues.
It was a song that was destined to be dated.
It's not on Midnight Eye now.
Well, that's the important. I guess I was a little sad.
Yeah.
You know, all the. Whatever. Why are we talking amongst ourselves? We
I don't
got
know,
one more
we're
issue
waiting
together.
for you. We're waiting for you to get back.
Yeah, we gotta let me hold forth on something else. No, we'll just do something. Thank you for coming back. I'm so sorry. Please never leave me again.
I wanted to see you once.
Never leave me again.
They always leave you, brother.
They always leave me.
But they come back.
Well,
You're the first.
Mr. Sandman, I'm going to play this one with my fingers, so if you want to just turn it this here.
All right. Are we ready?
yes, sir. You don't understand me, she screamed. How dare you say that to me? I know what I'm doing. You don't know how I think. You don't know how I feel. I do, I thought. I was there when you were born. At your bat mitzvah, when the bike fell on your leg and you needed to be cradled to sleep for the first time in years. I know how you feel. I do understand you. I thought it, but knew it would do no good, that I couldn't convince her now. So I kept my trap shut.
Only when you smile do I remember. I used to have a reason to try, only for a while. It turns to winter. The moon comes out from under the sky. I don't know how I threw it away, but I know how to see it again. Only when you smile.
Out in the cold, the damp midnight air, she had raccoon eyes, and I couldn't tell if it was from tears of fury or the rain that had only just let up. For an instant, I felt like laughing, but that wouldn't have helped, and there was really so little anymore to laugh about. I wanted to take her in, get her in a shower, give her tea, and get her to bed. I wanted to cradle her as I had such short years before, but there were others cradling her now.
Only when you smile do I remember. I used to have a reason to try, only for a while. It turns to winter. The moon comes out from under the sky. I don't see how I threw it away, but I know how to see it again. Only when you smile.
When did she become so angry? When her mother left? When the economy changed? Is this hormones or the time of the month or any of the other thousand things I don't understand? I don't know. I don't know how to reach this girl anymore. I can't think of a way to help her through. All I can do is remember that old song we danced to, her feet on mine as she smiled, and her brother took pictures, and I was happy, and we didn't imagine that it could ever change.
Only when you smile. Only when you smile. Only when you smile.
Grey Revell. He's back up at 8:45 doing his material.
Yay!
I know. But now he's leaving. Just saying. I said this before, but because I didn't want Brooke to hear it the second time, I will reiterate that album is available on Bandcamp under jonberger.bandcamp. I guess you have to know how to spell Jon Berger. Good luck with that. This is something that speaks to the anti-folk experience. True story. Outside of the Sidewalk Cafe over there on Avenue A, Fenton Lawless and Danny Kelly are out having a smoke because the mayor's made it illegal to smoke indoors, see, and they're talking about Paleface, who hasn't been around for a while, and Fenton says, I miss standing out here, seeing Paleface ride up on his bike, go on in and rock the house. Danny's about to say yeah when out of nowhere a guy rides up, dismounts off his bike, and walks into the club. It's not Paleface though, it's me, Jon Berger.
Whoa.
Jon Berger, king of the scene. Jon Berger looks like Mr. Clean. Jon Berger on my bike machine. Jon Berger, king of the scene. So Danny Kelly's still there outside of the fort at the sidewalk with a cig in hand, and Joey Dead Blonde Girlfriend's there with him. Of course, now he's just Joey because his band is called Dead Blonde Girlfriend, and he gave up his nom de guerre, assuming I know how to pronounce guerre. The nom de guerre for the cause. Yes. And the two of them are smoking and talking about acts that used to play the open mics but don't anymore. I don't think I've seen Hamill on trial for years, Joey says. He was such a big inspiration, even though he was bald and I have this beautiful black hair. And you know who else is bald, Joey continues? John S. Hall. You might not know, because he's always got that hat on. Damn, he's a good poet. And suddenly, emerging silhouette style from the recesses of the club is a shiny, bald head. Is it Hamill? Is it Hall? Hell no! It's Yonatan Ben Yehuda, Jon Berger. Hey, I say. Yo, I'm Jon Berger, lord of all I survey. Jon Berger, in this town I hold sway. Jon Berger, people say I talk gay. Jon Berger, lord of all I survey. Couple hours pass and Danny Kelly is still outside. Or outside again. I guess you'd have to have been there to be watching to know for sure. He's puffing away and he speaks. Oh, it's about time I've had something to say. I've been in this place from the start and all I've done so far is hold up the wall and give reaction shots. What's this shit about anyway? This seems like it's just a wank job for that Berger guy. Just talking about himself, making himself look big in a company of equals. The whole anti-folk community is about sharing. It's about communication. It's about listening and responding to art on an intrinsic level. And here we have some overgrown poet guy trying to paint himself as the center of attention, the master of all that goes on. What ego? What pretense? And that's about when it starts to rain and thunder and lightning. Swear to God. Lightning strikes inches from where Danny Kelly was standing just a moment before. Before he rushed under the awning to stay protected. Shit, Danny's about to say when Jon Berger, who is me, walks outside, looks up, and says, "Stop!" And the rain stops. And Berger says to the skies, "It's no big deal. He was just expressing an opinion." And then he goes back in, and the soundtrack swells, and the God sings back up for this final chorus. Jon Berger, that's who I am. Jon Berger, God love him, and damn those who disagree with his righteous plan. He's a cool man, Jon Berger. That's who I am. Woo! True story.
Hip-hop.
You love the musician boys when you know they will do you wrong. They will hurt you and write songs about it, and you will never know because they will play clubs in other neighborhoods that you won't visit, except with the next musician boyfriend who will in turn hurt you too. This is a cycle that you repeat too often, a ride whose ticket you've already bought for far too much. You must break the chain. Go a different way. Find the sort of boy who might make something of himself and not work at Wimpy's well into his 40s. You need to take a risk and do something new, if only for the novel experience. That line is foreshadowing. Date a poet. They don't need a band to make it because there is no chance that a poet will ever make it. His best bet will be to teach high school English until cutbacks require the position to go to someone with a master's degree. A poet knows where he stands in the pecking order, so he'll be appreciative of any attention thrown his way. Sleep with a poet. Let him woo you. They are good people, and plus poets have there's a phrase for this. A way with words. Date a poet to change your pattern. Date a poet and fix your life. Date a poet because those musicians are not working out, and I have nothing else to offer. Date a poet to start a new trend in mere minutes. So what do you think? And please, before you answer, realize whose language you're using. Mine! That's a poem. Woo! This is called What You Saw, and it goes out to James Bannon. And it was written after Latch. To the girl who left right after her set and right before mine, you missed it, baby. You missed the real deal. The kind of talent that was to go on was phenomenal, phantasmagorical, first rate. There were artists the likes of which you might have imagined but never seen, or might even have seen, but based on your speed of exit, never have heard. There was the fantastic Mr. Fix, which makes about as much sense as the Mad Hatter in a town called Alice. You entered a new reality in his presence, one that you would never willingly visit on your own. Or the Divine Mizenne. Ever experience her? I'm not surprised. She comes around like Halley's. Blue moons fly more frequently. Her sound is the prize bird watchers seek, a song so rare as to be priceless. You missed Lady K. You missed Dardanelle Jones. You missed Ricardo Snee and Gina G. All have something to recommend them, if only the silly names. And of course, you totally missed Kane Walk, an artist so huge, he needs 3 personalities to rein him in, of which I am one. He closed it all out, or I did. It's hard to say, but not that you can weigh in, for you are long gone. I hope your bed is cozy and your dinner was hot, but I really don't. I don't care that much because I'm still out enjoying the evening, rocking the night, and you could be too, but I don't know since you're gone and you missed it. You missed it all. I wrote it.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Jon Berger. He's going to do a few more pieces for you. I'm going to come around with this mandolin tip jar once again. Suggest a donation of $5, so please be generous if you can.
In the olden
You want French
days,
fries? Regular sweet potato or
during the historic performances of Jon Berger,
can of Jenny?
there was an amazing thing. There were many amazing things in the performance of Jon Berger, but one of them was the flying of paper. Back in the days before we were a virtual world, I would just have a sheaf of papers, and upon reading, they would fly, and people would collect them, and I understand that there's a market for them of pennies a page. True story. So I couldn't find this thing that I have here on my electronic media, so I found this old printout.
Whoa.
I know, of something that is longer. I once tried to write longer things before I realized I didn't have the attention span for longer things.
Nor do
It took
we.
me a while to realize that because I couldn't focus on the topic. But whatever, I'm going to read to you a piece that, again, in a different way is inspired. The story isn't inspired by anti-folk, but the style, I say, is.
Ooh,
And
here's
it's called
another clue.
Hammered. Hammered.
Not now.
Whoa.
Hey, big guy.
Hamlet? Yes, inspired by anti-folk. This is my interpretation of Hamlet. I saw a guy a couple of weeks ago do a reading of the Odyssey. He wrote it, but it was the Odyssey. And the Odyssey, as far as I know, was originally a rhyming poem. And so he did a rhyming poem about the Odyssey. I didn't understand. I'm going to read this. It's called Hamlet. At 16 in high school, with a pustulent, post-pubescent body that defied revision and a self-esteem that deified revulsion, I conquered my fears, my frustrations, and my sincere foundation belief that nobody understood me and that I was destined to be alone. And on a Tuesday morning, I asked Deborah Grayson out on a date. She didn't know what to say, hemming and hawing, and finally admitting to having a crush on my good friend Jon Berger, but not having anything else to do that Saturday afternoon, with no competitors for her romantic attention, she finally relented and gave me my shot. The weeks passed like an isolated eternal instant. I kept my own high-amp counsel, not wanting Jean-Pierre to hear the girl of my dreams thought him the boy of her dreams, and not wanting my parents to know all the intimate details of my non-love life. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. And not wanting my grade advisor to give me the new birds and bees discussion. Still, I had to tell someone. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday sped by eagerly, but every second in every class held me back, keeping me further away from my weekend, from my date with Destiny and Deborah. And when the sunny Saturday finally came, she was radiant, a star boring into the crater of my day. I didn't say that, of course. I said, hey. Hey, she replied, and her skirt swishing, my heart wishing, we walked shoulder to shoulder the 3 blocks to the movie theater. It was a lame flick, but it was my choice, and we cracked jokes about it, and around when there would have been an intermission if it were the 30s, I pulled out a 40 and a couple of plastic champagne glasses and toasted to our good health. And the 40 had come from my Uncle Murray, who liked to think himself smooth with the ladies. When I confided in him about my weekend plans, he told me nothing says lovin' like something with some liquor. And before rushing over to meet the girl, he took me shopping. The plastic glasses were my idea. I wasn't a big drinker and neither was she, but the movie couldn't occupy our full attention. And both of us knew at this aspect of teenagedom, Deborah and I took in a lot more than our slight intolerant body weights could allow. Deborah was the first to giggle uncontrollably at the screen, but I soon followed suit. The movie ended, but we couldn't tell. We were busy snorting at things that weren't funny to the others, staring at us as they left the matinee, while we too, scrunched in our balcony seat, laughed and joked and spoke of things important to us and shared and talked about cabbages, kings, walruses, and beetles. I liked the Beatles, she said. I did too. We had a lot in common. Walking her home by the park, I tried to hold her hand and she tried to lean into me, I think, but youth and inexperience and lack of coordination kept us from making the connections we would be waiting all our lives for, until finally, at 81st Street, beside the Museum of Natural History, which I hadn't visited since pulling Michelle Caliendo's bra strap in 6th grade, we stopped and I leaned in and she leaned in, and somehow, in some way that's still mysterious to me, I kissed the first girl I'd ever dated. Not much happened after that. We were already near her apartment, and much as I wanted to go upstairs for some soda or anything else she'd offer, I had too much malted in my bloodstream and in my bladder, and I couldn't know if I wanted Deborah's dad to see me bringing his oldest daughter home midday, drunk, with me with a piss hard on like nothing I'd ever had before. When I delivered her to her door, she gave me a peck on the cheek, waved to her doorman, and went upstairs. I rushed into the center of the park and took the mother of all leaks. On Sunday afternoon, after playing hard to get for a full 25 hours, I called Deborah to see when we could do it next. In hushed tones, she explained that she didn't think it would be a good idea for us to see each other again, but that she had a really nice time and she hoped that we'd still be friends. I could hear the tilt in her voice. I could never prove it, but I thought I heard her father, a man I'd never met, breathing in the background. She said she had to get off, but I held the phone for what seemed like minutes after she hung up. On Monday, I heard that Deborah had gotten grounded, which made me feel the rejection hurt a little bit less. Later, when I saw her in the halls, I acted totally cool, but could feel my heart shattering any illusions that I would get out of junior year with one iota of confidence left intact. I knew that nothing would keep me together a month later when I saw her holding hands with Jean-Pierre. Had she been using me all that time? Had she made me ask her out just so she could get her clutches on my best friend? It didn't matter. I still have memories of the day, and the park, and the Colt 45, and the lousy movie whose name to this day I cannot remember, and I guess that'll have to be enough.
Give it up for Jon Berger. All right, we got Gina Mobilio coming up in just a few minutes.